I always feel silly waiting for it to go live. But hello, everyone. I'm Ashley, published with Ashley Live. I'm on streaming on my YouTube channel as well as Facebook. So to get we're going to talk about do brands work? That's kind of the topic for today. So let's get the basics over with. Remember to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, or if you're not watching on YouTube, watching on my Facebook channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the bell, hit the icon, whatever it is. Also check out my website, publishedwithashley.podia.com. It'll be in the notes below. And you can check out, I have a how to begin low content book course there, and also a quick website hack. How do you make your own website? So we're going to be talking about brands and do brands work today. So I'm hoping to get some people live. Let's see. Let me look. Okay. So brands. Okay, let me tell you a little background on brands and if brands work. The beginning of the year when I kind of started this YouTube channel, I was talking about creating a kind of two brands I was thinking of creating and focusing on that. And so I started those. It was based on, one of them was based on just an idea I had, one brand, and the other brand was based off of like a book that did well over Christmas and so last year. And so I decided to create a brand from that. And so I created, and I kind of half-heartedly, when I first did it, created the brand. I created a few books and in that niche and kind of similar to that niche. And I have to say they were kind of a bust. They didn't work, right? Well, it's not that they didn't work. They just didn't sell as well as I hoped. And I think it was because the word wasn't out there as to that the books existed. And so what I did is this year, I kind of decided for this Christmas, I would create some books that I was pretty sure would do well over Christmas within this brand. And I actually went and did a brand. So I created a website, and you can check out my course on publishedwithashley.podia.com on website hack. It's like a $9 course. It's very simple, straight to the point. It's really awesome. And this is exactly what I did. I created a brand with a quick website that was super easy to make, an email list. I linked it all together, and it's super cheap. You basically have to buy the domain name. And then it also offers you the ability to expand if you want to create like a serious website. But this is kind of like what I call a website hack. It's an easy way to do it for quick and cheap and to kind of start and create. Because like sometimes you're like, oh, I have to create so much with a brand. Oh, it's so hard. Well, maybe, but you don't have to make it so hard. You can make it pretty easy. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to kind of create this brand, get my own website, and kind of make this whole website hack so that I can tell people I was out there with. The idea was these Christmas books that I knew I was pretty sure they were going to sell pretty well, that they, would generate some like people looking like, oh, this is a brand. Wow. Is there more books like this? Does this brand have more books? And it's working. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, so these books are doing extremely well. I do advertise them, but the advertising is pretty cheap. I probably don't need to advertise them because they've got, they're ranking pretty high in their keywords, but, they're doing well. So I'm totally leaving the ads up. I'm not spending that much in comparison to what I'm making. So I'm totally happy. But here's the thing. So the books I created at the beginning of the year that weren't selling, that I thought would sell, they weren't the exact same. They were within the niche, within the like customer profile. So I have like this target audience, right? And I know the kinds of things they'll buy. So these particular products weren't, the same, but they were definitely within that target markets, the kind of things they would like. And they just weren't selling. And now once I had this brand and I've created kind of some buzz from my Christmas sales and people are starting to look up my website, I'm seeing a significant jump in those extra products. The ones that hadn't sold, I put them in the beginning of the year, they hadn't sold. Today, one of those products that I really, really love, it's really beautiful. It had sold like twice. I'm now getting 36 copies a day selling. I'm getting people to buy groups of stuff. And so it's a huge change. So I wanted to let you know that I think brands work. Brands work for KDP. It does not need to be as complex as you think it does. You just need a place where people can go and see your products and that you're advertising it within your inside of your book. So if someone actually purchases your book and likes it, you should definitely have a way that they could contact you or see your other products. And that's kind of why I created, like I said, the hack that I did, it's on my course for $9, but it's just a web page that just shows my products that are on Amazon. And it's very simple. It was very easy to make. It did not take much time at all, but I wanted to be able to give somebody like a website and say, hey, here's my website, go check out all my products. So it's not a complex thing. It's on the cheap. It's really easy. And I could definitely expand it to make it more later, but I wanted something to be able to capture that Christmas traffic. So I think brands really can get you out there. Like I said, I had these ones that weren't selling at all, but now I've kind of piggybacked those on ones that are selling. Like I'm getting purchases and I'm seeing the uptick. I'm seeing the results of putting pins on Pinterest and directing people to my website. Okay. I'm seeing that traffic start to flow. So I think that brands for KDP are a total must. And I know everyone wants to say, oh, just find keywords and that sort of thing. And that's true. You can definitely do that. And I think you should do that because it's always fun to experiment and try new things. But I think the way to really make this a sustainable business is to treat it like a sustainable business. Okay, so treat it like a brand. Treat it like, and you can create several brands. Like if you create something and it just doesn't work, that's okay. You can try something else. But I think it just takes a little bit of time to see it grow. Like I said, I started this journey with these two brands at the beginning of the year. And one of them, the brands it has individual sales on the books, but it hasn't really taken off as a brand yet. But I have to admit, I have not put the effort into really creating it as a brand. I kind of created it as a grouping of books under a brand, but I never really created the brand. But this other one that I've kind of nurtured and created the website for and started Pinterest with it and tried to add things to, it's actually really taking off. And I've been shocked. Like I said, I sold just today 36 books on this one book that wasn't selling anything. And I had published it, I think, in February. So, or maybe it was March. But either way, it was fairly early in the year. It hadn't sold maybe 1 or 2 copies. And I sold 36 this morning, and it's been selling consistently. So it's something to really think about, to try and, any sort of momentum you get on a book, you can try and piggyback the momentum for the rest of your catalog. And you can create several, catalogs of books within certain niches. Like I said, this particular brand is focused on a specific target audience. So I did kind of one of those target audiences. You fill it out, where do they shop? What do they like? What kinds of things do they like? What sort of topics are they interested in? How can I serve that market? And then I've created things that are within that market that are popular in the general market, but niche them down to the particular taste of this audience. So planners, journals, all the things that this particular audience is going to like. And so what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add, they have pillows and totes and things like that now in Merch by Amazon. I don't know if you guys have heard by Merch by Amazon. If you follow any of this stuff, a lot of people who do KDP do merch, and people who do merch do KDP. Merch by Amazon is a program. If you're in, great. If not, you can go apply and see if you can get in. But they sell t-shirts and phone cases and pillows and totes and all sorts of things now. So I think pillows and totes might go over really well with this audience, and probably phone cases. So I'm going to try and create some phone cases and pillows and put that on my little web page store and sell that to my target market, because I think it's something that they would like specifically and be interested in. So it's not just books you can create. You can create a whole idea or concept of merchandise that your target audience would be interested in. And I think that's really going to do well. I will have to tell you how the pillows and all that go. I'm not expecting it to go well at the beginning. I think it's going to take some time to pick up some momentum. And, once I do the pins on Pinterest and all the other stuff, it's just going to take some time to build up. But isn't that great to build something and then it just kind of feeds itself rather than trying to struggle and run on that hamster wheel? And I think that's what brand building can do for you. Do you have to create a brand? No, but you have to put in effort into your business, and you can do it through keyword research and then doing ads, or just trying to find keywords that you can rank organically and then creating lots of books, or you can spend your time, on branding and doing some advertising and doing some Pinterest and creating a website. So all of it's about time. It's kind of just how you want to do it. And I think I've done this business, KDP, for a while. And I had a brand. I don't know, some of you probably know that I'm an author too. And so I have some pen names for clean romance, kids books, all sorts of different stuff. And those things, you've really had to succeed in the fiction market, you really have to create a brand, an author page, and followers, and give away free stuff and all that. And it was kind of, it's time consuming. It's really hard to do that writing an entire book. So it was exhausting. So at first, with this low content, I spent the first 2 years just putting lots of stuff out there, seeing and trying and exploring. And now I'm kind of going back to that. Yeah, I need to really create an audience and create things for an audience, but it is a lot less intensive because I don't have to create a 50,000 word book every single month. That is exhausting. To create 2 or 3 low content, medium content, like I just did a coloring book for my audience that's specifically for the audience. That took me 2 weeks to do. And do remember, I do this super, super, super part-time. Okay. I love a lot of the people who do this, and they do it, 7 hours. Like, don't be fooled by those people. Like, I'm making $100,000 and I do nothing. That's not true. They spent probably 12 hours a day for, 6 months before that was the case. I do this very part-time, like an hour a day, maybe. Some days it's 3 hours, some days an hour. I've got 4 kids. I've got 2 other businesses I run. I do this YouTube channel, my Facebook. I have a life. I cook dinner every night. Like tonight, I was just checking my list before we got in here. We're having spaghetti. So I have to go put the, spaghetti sauce together to simmer all day. So I have a life. I don't spend a million hours doing this. So my growth is going to be probably slower than your growth, but it's methodical. It's continued progress in the right direction. And I treat this like a business. And I want you to do that too, because I think it can help. Okay, so let's see, what else do I got here? Yeah, so like overall, I think brands work. I think you can really create something amazing and create anything you gain momentum on, you can piggyback off that momentum. And so that's something that, you see all those people ranking in 2000s. And I had a book just the other day in the 30,000, and I was really excited because not only was it in the 30,000 range, which you're thinking, oh, that's not selling too much. This was selling in blocks. So I was selling 10, 15 books every single order. So yeah, I was only in the 30,000, but my actual sales were way higher than the rank would actually, because it was kind of a gifty item. So the rank was way higher meaning 30,000 versus, like 2,000, then the numbers would actually suggest I was selling quite a lot more than if you just put the rank in Amazon and see what it got. So, you can do this. It just takes time and effort and thought, and you've got to put effort into it. I know some people, they just want to throw things up there and wonder why it doesn't work for them. It's because it's a business and there's effort. Effort's got to come in somewhere. And effort doesn't just count as creation of the books and throwing it up there and hoping it works. That's minimal effort. Okay, so that's the min. And that doesn't, you could do really well, but you also probably won't. I mean, you can get lucky. The effort is not just in throwing the books up there. The effort is in creation of them. Do they hit the target market right? Like I said, I saw one book that was in my niche that totally missed the target. Like the target market wouldn't have purchased it because they'd be like, the cover isn't spelled correctly. It's not even the right terminology. Like, certain niches have certain terminologies, and they know that if you don't use the right words, that you aren't using the right thing. They're not going to purchase it because they're like, that's not the right phrase. Why would someone who knew about this niche buy this? Okay. Our sales on the webpage, are they being directed back to Amazon? It's actually Amazon. So they're not on the webpage. My sales are directly through Amazon, so I don't have to do anything at all in the sense of, shipping or anything. It's all Amazon's problem. So yes, the website idea is to totally create something on the Amazon ecosystem so that I don't have to do the work, right? I love KDP because I can research at 2 a.m. in my pajamas. I can create the book at whenever I want during the day or evening or whenever I get a chance. And then I put it up there and I do pins whenever I want. I do everything that I don't have to touch things. I don't have to ship things. I like everything to be, within that ecosystem. Now, I will say that is the reason now everyone worries you could lose your KDP account. That's the reason with this. I also set up with my website hack, I set up an email list so I can start collecting emails. And I've been collecting emails. So it does work. I actually probably expect to collect quite a few more after Christmas because I imagine some of these are gifts to people and they're going to read through and be like, oh, I want that free thing that the person's offering. Mine, I think I offered some free coloring pages. Different because I have a kid version and adult versions. And so I have kid coloring pages, adult coloring pages. So I have 2 different freebies. But I imagine I'll start getting more signups after Christmas as well. But I have been seeing people come on my email list. I don't email them very often. I just plan on emailing them about every few weeks to try and say, hey, here's when I have something new out. You should check out, these products. Only me watching live. Yeah, I know. It's kind of sad. I only have a few people watching live. It's okay. It's getting close to Christmas. I totally get it. So no worries. Hi, all people watching live or not live anyway. So I think that's about it. Unless you guys who are live have questions, do feel free to ask. It's one of those luck meets opportunity, right? So yes, there is some luck involved in this, but if you work and put the effort and you get your name out there. Oh, here's one I wanted to tell you. So I was looking at, I don't remember who's one of the Facebook places I follow. And there's a lady, she was saying she has making about $5,000 a month with 2 books. 2 books. Now they are very niche and they're crafty. So what she says she's been doing for advertising is she's been going, they're very, she's knowledgeable in this particular niche craft. And so her books are more, I would call high content. It's like how-to stuff. But that doesn't, it obviously took her more time to create these how-to books, but she's only created 2 this year. So that's pretty good. And she's been marketing them by going to different Facebook groups that she's already in because she's into this niche and she does this stuff. And so she's been doing some giveaways and things like that. And that's really built her brand, right? So there are creative ways to advertise besides AMS, which AMS is good. But, there's ways to connect with your audience that are free. You don't want to be spammy, but if you're a part of some of these groups and niches, then you can, say, hey, I have a free book. Does anyone want it? Or talk to the moderators of that Facebook group and say, hey, I have a book that I think your audience might like. Would you like to give away a few and do a raffle or something like that? Just to kind of get your name out there, but to do something nice for also the person who owns that Facebook group and offer them something for free. So it just might cost you a few dollars to order an author copy or author copies and ship it to them. And so this is a good idea for people outside the country, right? Because you can't necessarily order an author copy and maybe send it to yourself and then send it to them, but you can order an author copy and send it directly to that person if they're within the US. And then that way, it's easy and you can do that. Let's see. Yeah, I know, replays. It's Christmas, man. I've got so many things on my list to do. I'm doing pretty good on my to-do list, but yeah. What niches should I focus on to make right now? Next year. So stuff for next year. I think my last YouTube video, I talked about, start looking at stuff for Valentine's Day, and don't just focus on, I mean, yes, you could use definitely some holiday type things, but try and do some stuff that maybe is kind of more evergreen, like appreciation type gifts. And then you could focus like on teachers and do teacher appreciation gifts, which that means they could buy, like actually I have a teacher appreciation book that's been selling for Christmas because people are trying to get Christmas presents for teachers. So that's something that will sell year round. So think more, instead of just Valentine's Day, think appreciation for people. And those types of things will sell throughout the year, especially if there's other holidays like personal assistant secretary's day. Whatever we've changed the PC version to, kind of look up the different like niche holidays of jobs and careers, and those are things that you can target within your keywords so that it'll also sell at that point in time. So look at February and March and April and what kind of things, activities, sports, careers, funny work stuff, the things that kind of in that, like going towards the spring, or is what you should try and create now, especially with the long lead times. I have a coloring book that's been in for like 7 days now in review, and before coloring books were going through quicker, but it's been sitting there for a while. So with those long lead times, you're going to want to make sure you put your stuff up early. Does that help? Anything else? If not, then I think that's kind of it for today. Like I said, like, subscribe, depending on even if you're watching on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can get some extra subscribers and get the word out there. Like, comment, do all those lovely, great, and wonderful things. Check out my webpage. There's some freebies on publishwithashley.podio.com. So there's some there's some freebies and fun stuff there. And next week, I'm going to put out a video, but it'll be taped and not live. So the 23rd of December, I'll have a video that'll go out at noon, so you can watch it, but it won't be live. But I'll have something taped for you all. And let's see, what should I write in author name? I can write my brand name for all my type of books. Yes, yeah, you pick, okay, careful with brand names. Do remember on brand names, you don't want to use keywords. So avoid the words like notebook, keywordy type things. Keep it, okay, so it's an outdoors book. Maybe you're doing, I don't know, nature stuff. You could put like, I don't know. You're making me think on the top of my head, but don't use keywords. Great outdoor publishing or something. You'd have to check. You always want to check on Google, and you want to check on trademarks for your brand name to make sure it's not already branded or trademarked. And you want to check just on Google to see if it's a brand. If you Google it and a huge advertisement comes out for something like Bass Pro Shop, obviously that's a big thing. Don't put Bass Pro Shop if you're doing outdoor books. So look and see if it's something, but you can just make up word, like, you can even make up a word. Does it really matter? As long as it's something that kind of fits with the niche that you're looking at. So if you're doing some outdoorsy books, maybe the word outdoor or adventure or something that would kind of put that niche, and then you put like press or imprint or designs instead of notebooks, because that way, like I said, notebooks, books, things like that have been triggering the keyword thing. Let's see. My brand name is Ashley. I can write Ashley Coloring Books, Ashley Activity Books. Yeah. Like, come up with a name. Like, I don't know, crafty, right? Crafty is, if you're into like crafts, crafty, or I don't know, just think about it and do a little bit of Google research to make sure that it's not something that's already been taken. Yes, I would do, okay, so you said Ashley Publications for all books under author name. Yes, within that niche. So what I've been doing is I've been targeting what I look at as a target audience. So I look at who would be buying this book, okay? And then I try and keep my brand name for that target market. So, you know, it's going to be people who are interested in a certain sport, or maybe just they're interested in sports. So you can have, you know, gym sporty publications or imprint. I don't know. I'm making it up. Sporty isn't a word, so it wouldn't trigger the, you know, algorithm, but something like that. You know, pick a name and pick something that kind of would relate to it. So gym sporty imprint, right? And everything under that, yeah, brand name, author name would be, you know, first, middle, end. So gym sporty imprint, right? So first name, middle name, sporty, imprint would be last name. And everything under that would kind of, you know, be maybe sports books. So it would be stuff about log books for different sports, or funny notebooks for different sports, or whatever kind of that niche would be interested in, kind of target it that way, something like that. Does that help? So yeah, like if you did Ashley Publications, yeah, that's fine. Then you could put Ashley in the first name of the author and publications in the last name. So that way it would, or you could just put Ashley Publications in the first name slot and just put a space between them. That also works as well. Yeah. So you could do something like that. Does that help? Hopefully that makes it clear. And you can have more than one pen name, right? So if you, like I said, if you're doing Ashley's Publications, that doesn't mean you're stuck with that forever. You can create something else and, you know, be like Jim's Publications, that sort of thing. Other questions? Hopefully that was helpful. All right. I think that's about it for today. Like I said, I'll see you guys the 23rd in a taped video on YouTube. I'll also put the taped video on Facebook as well, so you guys can have that. And yeah, the 23rd of December. And then I'll probably do another taped one for the 30th. Now looking at my schedule. So the next 2 weeks will be taped. So I'll just put some tape stuff out, and we'll begin in the next new year. So I'll be back live January, whatever that day is, January 4th, 3rd of 2021. And we're hoping for a much better 2021, right? And I hope your Christmas sales are doing well. Mine are fabulous. I have doubled my income from last year. So I am super excited about that. And you can do it too. It does take effort. It does take work. And this is a business, not a get rich quick scheme. It is something where you have to consider your customer and take them into account and create something that they're going to want and tell their friends about. So that's kind of what I've taken the tactic to doing. And so I think my brand strategy it's really been paying off. And I wasn't sure at the beginning of the year if it would, and I really believe it has, because I have doubled my sales from last year. So I think it was worthwhile. So hopefully that is helpful. It does take time and effort, but you can do it too. So I will see you all next week and the next week in taped episodes and live in the new year. Thanks. Bye.